Hey, it's Ark again. As you all know, Dark Souls 2 has faced its fair share of criticism. Countless videos and discussions have echoed with negative sentiments, highlighting perceived flaws and mishaps. But today I want to pivot the discussion and focus on some of the aspects that, in my opinion, deserve better recognition and celebration. One of the underappreciated features of Dark Souls 2 is its ingenious use of the torches. Beyond their role of illuminating the darkness, torches had a plethora of other uses. Lighting your way was just the beginning. The game allowed you to utilize torches to deter enemies and even alter the environment. A classic example is the windmill in the Harvest Valley. By burning it early on, you could transform the toxic swamp into a terrain that's much easier to navigate, showcasing how interactive the game world truly is. Now let's talk about Pharaoh's Stones. These unassuming items served a dual purpose. They encouraged backtracking and rewarded exploration. The sight of a peculiar contraption on a wall became an invitation to return with the Pharaoh's Stone in hand, revealing hidden passages and secrets. These items help to push players to revisit previously explored areas in order to find some unique items and gear. Dark Souls 2 embraced a deliberate, methodical combat pace that some might describe as janky. However, I believe this deliberate pacing only added to the fun of player versus player interactions. The backsteps giving iframes and the almost cinematic backstabs really makes Dark Souls 2 one of, if not the best PvP game in the Souls series. Each move has weight and consequence, turning battles into tactical dances. This approach fostered an environment where victory felt genuinely earned, and every defeat was an opportunity to learn and improve. Venture beyond the beaten path and you'd encounter more than your fair share of surprises. From passive invisible hollows that dropped valuable trade items, to butterflies that healed unexpected treasures, Dark Souls 2 had a knack for catching players off guard in the most delightful ways. And let's not forget the red variants of enemies, injecting a fresh challenge into New Game Plus, or with the use of Bonfire aesthetics. These enemies really add to the game's replayability, and I wish they had kept them around for Dark Souls 3. The Bonfire aesthetic, a concept that seems to be lifted from the annals of wishful thinking. Imagine having the power to breathe new life into an area at will, reviving bosses, enemies, and restoring items while increasing the overall difficulty of the area provided a level of control and replayability that, in my opinion, was sorely missed in other titles. Just imagine playing Elden Ring or Dark Souls 3 and being able to repeat boss fights at the cost of a semi-rare item. Dark Souls 2 boasts an impressive roster of 41 bosses, most of which have unique designs and mechanics. While not every boss may have hit the mark, I'm looking at you, Royal Rat Authority. The game certainly didn't fall short of memorable encounters. The likes of the Fume Knight, the Burnt Ivory King, and Sin, the Slumbering Dragon, all left lasting impacts on players while still managing to be tough and interesting boss fights. And that's not even mentioning my beloved Covetous Demon. Oh, he's so cute, isn't he? Look at the little guy, he's a little baby. Nearly every RPG experience is defined by its attention to detail, and the ability to upgrade and repair armor added a layer of immersion and engagement. Dark Souls 2, alongside Dark Souls 1, allowed players to maintain and improve their gear, enhancing the sense of investment in their character's journey. I personally feel like removing this was nearly pointless and just made Dark Souls 3 easier to progress than the other two Dark Souls games. But what do I know? The interconnectivity of the world design might have been a point of contention for some, but there's no denying the beauty that awaited players in Dark Souls 2. Even the most hated locations in the games are still beautiful despite the world not being as stitched together as Dark Souls 1. Whether it's the tranquil majesty of Majula, the awe-inspiring expanse of Dragonary, or the haunting atmosphere of the Shrine of Amana, this game's views were a feast for the eyes. Yes, Fashion Souls, the art of looking good while vanquishing foes. Dark Souls 2 excelled in this aspect, boasting an extensive array of armor combinations and gear with unique attributes and designs. From practical advantages like increased carry weight to whimsical stats like improved jumping distance, or falling speed, or poisoning nearby foes. Many people claim that Dark Souls 2 had the best fashion in this series, and I wholeheartedly agree with them. Which is why my YouTube channel's profile picture is actually based off of my first time beating the game. And finally, the piece de resistance, power stancing. Dark Souls 2 broke new ground by granting players the ability to wield two weapons simultaneously, opening the door to an astounding array of combat possibilities. This feature allowed players to make new and exciting weapon combinations that will always keep you on the edge of your seat. Whether you're dual-wielding chicken wings for the ultimate big bonk, or just wanting the fancy moveset that the Pharaohs comes with, power stancing is always enjoyable, and it's easy to see why From Software brought it back for Elden Ring. As I wrap this video up, remember that appreciating Dark Souls 2 isn't about ignoring its flaws or comparing it relentlessly to its siblings. It's about recognizing the unique strengths and contributions that each installment brings to the series. So before you comment about how you hate Dark Souls 2 for so-and-so reason, just take a moment and appreciate the many unique and fun things Dark Souls 2 had tried to offer. While the game is by no means perfect, it is still an incredible RPG experience, and I highly recommend it to anyone interested in giving it a try. And as always, remember to let me know what you think down below. But yep, that's all I got. Bye.